Hi, this is Scott with Android Guys. I'm sitting here today with Luke,
Hey, everybody.
as if it would be anybody else.
Right. I was worried for a second.
No, yeah, I was gonna.
Like today? Wait, what? Who's tomorrow?
Today's special guest I'm gonna bring in is Luke. I need you to get up.
Oh,
Someone's
no.
gonna take your seat. It is your turn to share,
It is.
and I'm looking at the notes here, and I know what you're going to talk about,
Mhm.
and I'm actually interested in this
Mm-hmm.
because it looks like something that could be my jam.
It might be.
And it looks like something that I would at least be kind of interested in, like,
Mm-hmm.
how big is this game? Where does it go?
Right.
So you're going to share your impressions or review of Disney Mirrorverse?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about that.
All right. So Disney Mirrorverse is a collection game, essentially, similar to something like Clash Royale or Rush Royale or Marvel Strike Force or any Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, any of those games where you're collecting groups of characters and doing things. Disney Mirrorverse is a little different because it is it's a team battle game, but it's real-time battle. So you're not a lot of those games are they're real-time in a sense that you're fighting an enemy in real time and you're picking actions to do. Mirrorverse is different in that you're actually playing the game and moving your character around a little screen and doing attacks in real time, like a kind of like an action game.
Okay.
The graphics are what you would expect from a Disney game. I mean, they're really good. They feel, they feel like a AAA title game. Like it's really good graphics. It is one of those games that, there's a lot of ways to gain characters. There's a store. You can purchase characters. You can unlock characters through crystals. You get different crystals by doing daily quests, from doing story quests, from special events that happen, like timed events. You might be able to get character shards or characters from Facebook or Discord and stuff like that. It seems like there's a lot of ways for them to get you into different platforms, but they're giving you something for that.
Okay.
Now it is it's Disney, so it's nice and fun and family friendly, but it is there to make money.
Well, I was going to say, everything you're saying, I can see other developers. It sounds like a kind of game like, yep, I've seen that style.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of those types of games. I've played those kinds of games.
Right.
But I wonder if Disney does it better.
I don't know if they do it better. I think they do it good. It feels, I'll say this, at least I'm not into kind of like a veteran player area, or I'm not in the end game yet. So I don't know for sure. But it feels like they reward you early, fast. They kind of get you into it and get you liking the game. And there's really not a lot of hurdles or barriers. You're always getting shards. You're always getting coins. You're always getting magic potions and things. It feels pretty easy.
Okay.
And it's fun because you're building this collection of Disney characters, right? They call them guardians, and every guardian has a different classification, and these are heroes and villains all together. So it's not like you're the good guys versus the bad guys. It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts. Like you're the Disney characters versus like the shadow characters, or these kind of bad entity characters.
So yeah, whether you're good or bad, you're on the same team.
Right.
Kind of like we have to take on a bigger.
Right.
We have a bigger problem.
Right. And that's not ever addressed in kind of the little story. There's never like a Maleficent, why are you on our team? You're a bad person.
Right.
There's never that, but it's just, we're all these Disney characters that, fighting the bad characters. And all of these characters have different abilities, different special abilities. They have signature abilities that follow much like what their characters do in the show. So like Sully has like a big smash that he does.
Okay.
Or Merida from Brave has a special bow shot, or things like that. So your characters, your different characters feel like their characters, but they also, just like any other classic game, have different attributes and different categories. So like Sully is a tank. He has a lot of hit points. He takes hits and he does, kind of damage that makes enemies focus on him. And, Merida is a ranged character. She does ranged damage. So she's your archer, your classic, bow archer. And then, like Ian Lightfoot from, what was the movie that came out? He was with the dad with no body. It was just pants.
Ian, I don't know. Let me think here.
It was like The Quest or something. It wasn't that. That's wrong.
Wait, Onward.
Onward. That's it. I wanted to say Up, but I knew Up was wrong.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
So
I forgot his name as a character, but when
I only know that because I'm looking at it right here. I'm looking at the character, but he's like a healer guy. He's like magic, and he does like healing and stuff. So
okay.
But it's really fun. It's a fun game. It's like I said, I'm not too far into it to, have any gripes of like veteran players, or kind of like, I imagine that as you get going in this game, it's going to be one of those games, much like Marvel Strike Force, where you have to check in daily. You have to do the certain amount of quests, and you have to make sure you do this, and this to make sure you get the shards you need to unlock the next character, or unlock a special character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be very similar to any sort of collection kind of game.
Well, and those types of games, at least for me, is kind of like, well, then I start to unlock characters or get them. I'm like, oh, I still need to get such and such, and I'll keep playing until I get him because he's my favorite.
Right.
And then, I want all the guys from this movie.
Right. The thing that seems different about this, at least at, first blush, is the characters, you can kind of build whatever team you want. So in some games, like there's a certain team that this is the good team. This is the meta, right? If you want to win, if you want to be the top of the rankings or whatever, you'll play, this team. You'll be the Avengers, or you'll be whoever. You'll be all, if it's Star Wars Galaxy of Hero, you'll be all, Sith or something.
Right.
Or Jedi or whatever. This one, it's like, you know what? If I want to be Mike Wazowski and Gaston and Mulan, I can do that. And make those three. It's just a 3-character team. And you just, what you do is you have a main character you control and move around and do the attacks. But then when your other 2 characters' special abilities are available, you can trigger those when you want to.
Okay.
And whether it's a heal your team or stun an enemy or just do massive damage, whatever, you can kind of pick, whatever character you want to play, and but you control like all the special moves. So, but so far it's really fun.
Is this the kind of game, like, how much time do you put into it when you play? Is it a few minutes at a time?
It can be. Okay. Sometimes I'll just go in, I'll check, so much like other games that have like a timed reward.
Yeah.
You have like a chest you can open for time. This one is you can craft a crystal, and depending on how good of a crystal you want to craft depends on how long it takes. So the longer, the better. But, sometimes I'll just log in and there's like refreshes that happen in the store. You get some free stuff, and then you check a crystal that you've been making and you log back out, or you log in and maybe do a battle or 2, or maybe upgrade some characters. I haven't found that it is a time sink where I have to go in and play it.
Like every day there's an obligation
to
return.
There is, but I don't feel that obligation yet because I have only like 12 or 13 of the however many characters are there.
Right.
So I don't feel like I'm already so far behind that, it's
You're
not
just-
like I have to keep playing to stay up on the curve.
You're just moving at your own measured pace.
Yeah, I'm moving at my own pace. Now, if I was going to take it more serious, that, like I said, that would be a thing where I feel like I have to log in, if the store refreshes every 2 hours, I got to log in every 2 hours to make sure I get all the free stuff to optimize my gathering of components and shards and all that kind of stuff.
So there have been other games where it feels like you just open it out of obligation, go through, collect, tap this, add this to get it going, cook this, and then get out.
Right.
Do you feel like there's that?
I think I don't think so, because it has that unique real-time gameplay experience where you can go through, and like I said, there's the story campaign, but there's also alliances stuff where you can have, like, you can be part of a guild or an alliance. There's also events, different events that happen. So there's a lot of different gameplay you can do. So there's always something else to do if you want to.
So it sounds to me kind of like how Pokemon Go is.
Sure.
However you want to play it.
Right.
If you want to battle, you can battle.
Yep.
If you want to collect, you can collect.
Yep.
If you want to, okay.
If you do all three, or if you do everything, you have a better chance of being better at everything.
Sure.
But you also don't necessarily have to do everything. Just know that it's going to take you longer to, have powerful characters, or it might take you longer to get all the characters, or,
you can play a different game than your sons might want to with this.
Right. Yep.
Okay. So I'm looking at your scores here, and it looks like you like this game.
I do like it. Yep.
3.8.
Yeah.
Was your average.
Yep.
And high marks on the graphics, it looks like, in features.
Yeah.
So it is, as I looked at the photos and the pictures, I wondered, I was like, this looks like one of those games. And I think you showed me a couple minutes a few weeks ago. It just looks like, ooh.
Yeah.
Man, if I had to kind of pick a game and just kind of stay with one thing instead of sampling and testing all these other things, I'm always in search of like that one game to kind of like keep coming back to and just always do. Do you have an account? So like if you switch different phones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So you just log in with, it's the company that makes it,
Kabam?
Kabam. Yeah. So you log in with, make a Kabam ID, and then, then when you log in at any other phone or device, you can pull it up there. So
there's 1 million installs, and there's over 135,000 reviews. This is an average of 4.5.
Yeah.
You have a 3.8. So I that is good.
A little lower
than
everybody else.
Yeah, it's not quite like editor's choice. And I see that you gave it a 3 for ads and notifications.
Yeah. So it's not terrible with ads at all. The notifications are the thing that get you. So
come back and check this.
Yeah. Hey, your crystal's ready. Hey, the new stuff is open in the store. Hey, XYZ. Hey.
Gotcha.
It's one of those. It's a little bit. It's not terrible. That's why I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
It's not
still
lousy with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It asks for your time. To me, I understand that part of the game with a developer. I understand that's what you have to do to keep people engaged. To me, I feel like a game on your phone is a leisure activity.
Yeah.
And it's my time. If I choose to give you my time, just respect that.
Yeah, I like the idea of a game being, if you put out a software update or if you add some new levels, let me know about that.
Sure.
If you add some new characters, cool. Ping me and say these 3 players have been added.
Sure.
I don't need to know something that is, the game tells me it's going to take 4 hours. Don't tell me in 4 hours to come back and do it. I'm a grown man.
Right.
I'll be back.
Right.
If you make it so bad, I might just uninstall the game.
Exactly.
So Android 13 gives you the ability to tell apps when you install it, do you want notifications?
Right.
And depending on the app, you can go in and set granular notifications.
Sure.
So that is something to consider. And that
Right.
may be the case now if you're considering this game or down the road, that you might be able to pick and choose.
Sure.
That would be nice. But other than that, this, sounds like a pretty awesome game.
Yeah, it's really fun. And if you like Disney, it's going to be a no-brainer for you if you know, just the fact of collecting all these characters. And it's cool to see kind of their ideas of what these characters' ability would look like in a, you know, action RPG game.
I always think of, for some reason, my mind, when I see games like this, I always go back to the game Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Of like playing with a couple of people on the screen, and each one of us, like one of us has to grab a bow. Somebody's got to do this. And how do we work as a team?
Right.
And then when you see characters, it's like, you know, in the age of Smash Brothers,
sure, like
what's his special move? What is this? So I like that idea, and I like the idea of using Disney to do that as well.
Yep.
So cool. All right, so that's Disney Mirrorverse.
That's it.
Thank you, Luke.
No problem.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.